This is Marcus Corval with MMA Net, and we're here at the U of MMA in downtown Los Angeles at the Club Nokia with James, the Moonwalker Moontasri. Last time we did an interview, it wasn't official that if you're going to be on the UFC card yet, right? But you said you really wanted to fight in the UFC in Los Angeles on the 2nd of August. That card got cancelled, unfortunately. But now you are in the UFC. How does it feel?
It feels great. I had a great opportunity to take a fight against Joe Ellenberger on short notice, and you know, it didn't go my way, but it was the best experience of my life.
Even though you didn't win that fight, and that fight could have gone either way, I think it was a good statement. You went in there and you showcased you were never in danger. It was a split decision, and you had to showcase some of what you do. What do you think you could have done different to get the nod that night?
You know, I knew I had him hurt in the first round, so sometimes I wish that, you know, I wish I would have kind of turned it up in the first round. But, you know, it's like when I look back on it, you know, I can't think about like what if, but what's next, you know? So win or lose, that was the best experience of my life, and I'm only going to come back stronger from it.
And they talk a lot about the UFC jitters. At one point in the fight, you actually look up and you're smiling in there. And like you said, it was a good experience. Was there any jitters?
No, there wasn't jitters because I felt like I belonged there, you know? But when I looked up in the third round and then I saw myself on the camera, it was just kind of me noticing all my dreams come to fruition, all the hard work, everything. And then that smile was just 100% organic. Like, I was so happy to be in the moment, and to actually be in the octagon and to be on Fox TV was a blessing.
And a lot of times people get tunnel vision when they're fighting. There's very few people that, even between rounds, but especially during a round, looks up on the camera to see themselves on camera. Are you that calm in there?
I was very calm. I've been competing a lot since I was a little kid, and doing tournaments and just competitions. So that's where I feel most comfortable. I knew that I wasn't really afraid of his striking, so I knew he was just going to wrestle me, which he did. And so during my time against the back of the cage, it was kind of a break for me to kind of look up at the camera and to smile at him.
Now, when we spoke after RFA, you didn't know at the time that you're going to be in the UFC. Then you go in and have a beautiful finish in the next RFA that came back to Los Angeles, and then you get the call. But even for that fight, you have difficulties making weight for that fight, and here you had a shorter amount of time to get ready for it. How was that weight cut for you?
The weight cut, I think, was definitely affected me. I had difficulties making weight my last RFA fight, but like I said before, when you get an opportunity from the UFC, you know, it's time to kind of step it up, and you know, thank God I made the weight, and for me that was a win.
And we all know you, and we were talking about it, going, wow, James was just overweight not long ago, and now he gets a call with what, 2 weeks notice?
11 days notice. 11 days notice.
And not only did you get it with a lot shorter notice than you had before, you made the weight. And we thought, is he going to struggle? Was that the hardest weight cut you've had?
That was by far the hardest weight cut I've ever done. I was actually, when I got the call from my management company, from Ed and from Black House, I was actually in Panda Express eating orange chicken and chow mein. So once I got that phone call, it was a hard 11 days for me.
Did you go straight into the bathroom to throw up?
No, straight to the gym to go train. So,
have you since lowered your weight? Do you walk around at a lower weight, or how are you gonna take that experience and make it easier for you next time? Obviously, you'll have more time, but what have you done? What changes have you done? Have you done changes to your diet, or your training, or?
Oh, right now I just got done. I had a nose injury prior to the UFC fight. So during that fight, I ended up breaking my nose, and so I had nose surgery a couple weeks ago. And so I'm, you know, I can't spar, or I can't really train too hard until October. But I mean, after that, I always walk around really big. Anyways, I walk around 190, 195. I mean, when I weigh in for 155, I pretty much am 185 the next day. So it's very hard for me to make the weight. But I mean, right now I'm just kind of relaxing until hopefully in January I'll fight again.
And anyone that knows you and follows you on Instagram knows that you like food, that's for sure.
I love food. You know, I'm going to have my own show on the Food Network, and then or the Travel Channel, whichever one contacts me first.
Well, you're gonna what type of food? You cook yourself?
I cook myself. Not my weight cutting food. The rest of the food I'll cook myself. But yeah, I mean, I love all types of food, man.
And if you were on the Food Network, what, like the Moonwalker's cooking show, what type of food would that be?
You know, that Man vs. Food. show. Adam Ren, he doesn't want to, or Adam, he doesn't want to do any more of that. So I was thinking possibly fighter versus food. And then I would just travel around, Los Angeles area and do food competitions. I'm going to pitch it to a couple producers.
You heard it here first, so no one else take that. Fighter versus food, that's James's.
Yes.
Now, you don't have a fight scheduled right now, obviously you just come off of surgery, but do you have a plan? Is it a card that you want to be on? Or yesterday we saw, for example, the UFC down in China, and obviously you saw a lot of hometown fighters. You're not Chinese, you're Korean, but UFC Korea, is that South Korea? Is that too far-fetched?
I would love to. I would love to. Probably my timeline would be December or January. So I know there's a lot of fight cards in Vegas at that time. But, whatever opportunity they give me, I'm going to take.
And yesterday we saw one of our teammates that we train with a lot of sparring partners, Rafael Dos Anjos, put on a show against Ben Henderson. And you spar with Rafael as well. You know how big he is for a 155 as well, and how hard he punches. Were you surprised what he was able to do to Ben Henderson?
I think I've seen how hard he trains. I've trained with him, and I really like Ben Henderson's style. But I wasn't surprised when I saw Rafael Dos Anjos put on a performance like that. Those guys at that high level, like on any given night, those gloves aren't very big. They're both good guys, but I was very happy for Rafael Dos Anjos to see him succeed.
And now, having sparred with someone at that level, who's now a definite title contender, if not next in line for the title, and same weight class as yourself, does that make you realize that you belong to the top, or?
Yeah, he's at a totally different level than I am right now in my UFC. I'm not even anywhere near thinking of a title shot. So right now, it's just for me, just focus until January on my next fight. And, I'm sure that whatever next opponent Rafael Dos Anjos has, I'll probably help him out for the next card.
Is there anyone in the UFC in the 155 division that you would like to fight that you think would be a good matchup for you, or a fun fight for the fans?
Anyone that's not going to try to take me down every 10 seconds, I'll fight. It doesn't matter.
You're here from the U of MMA in Los Angeles. And by the way, you got two guys on the card tonight. You got Roman Todorovic and the Spaniard as well, who actually is Spanish. Tommy is from Spain. A lot of people don't realize that. Predictions on those fights?
Tommy, for sure. Great stand-up. He's a good guy. He actually cornered me in my RFA fight, so he's a good friend. Definitely, man, the guy's a beast. Only 19 years old. I predict a quick finish. And then Roman, I know Roman has a very tough fight, so I'm hoping he utilizes his wrestling. And then I think maybe Roman by decision.
Defending his title here tonight at the Club Nokia in Los Angeles. Thank you, James.
Thank you, sir.